So there you are, on the sofa, phone in hand, and you're not looking at anything dodgy or anything. Nothing you'd be embarrassed to, show your nan. Let's say it's a forum about growing tomatoes, or a thread of daft football team names, or, I promise you, this is actually a real one, an online community devoted entirely to the deeply satisfying business of cleaning out earwax. And up it pops, a little box, before you can go any further, and it says, "We need to check you're an adult." Wait, what? Why? Upload a photo of your passport, or switch on your camera and let us scan your face. And so you sit there for a second, thumb hovering, and a very reasonable thought turns up. I'm a grown adult. I've got a mortgage, or I'm breaking my back trying to get one. I've raised kids, or I still am somebody's kid, and I am now being asked to show my papers to a company I have never heard of so that I might be allowed to look at some pictures of pimple popping or whatever it is you guys do. You're not imagining it, by the way. You haven't nodded off and woken up in some other authoritarian whole country. No. This is here. This is Britain right now, where the people in charge decided the way to keep children safe online was to make every single adult in the land queue up to prove who they are to a stranger over and over and over again, all bloody day long. How we got here, who's quietly getting rich off of it, and the part they'd really rather you didn't clock, well, that, after all of it, hasn't actually been worked out. That's what the next 20 minutes are all about. So stick with me. This is the fine print, and this is the channel that they honestly would probably rather you have never found. And if being told to show your passport to a gardening forum has quietly gotten under your skin, do us a favor and subscribe. Not just for me, although it is a big help, but so the next person squinting at that little box, wondering if they have lost the plot, finds out they haven't. Alright guys, great news. No sponsor this week, so instead I'm going to shamelessly plug my own thing. It's called SteadyQ, and it's a teleprompter me and my mate built because every other one on the market has driven us up the wall. This one actually follows your voice as you speak. You probably don't need a teleprompter, I get that, but if you know anyone who does, please send them my way. It's free to try at steadyq.com, and of course I will drop a link in the description. Right, let's get into how on earth this happened. The box comes from a law, the Online Safety Act. It properly landed in the summer of 2025 and has been the bane of us all since. And from that day on, any website with anything on it that an adult might look at had to check you were over 18 before it let you through. It's not a tick box where you promise you're 18. A real whole ass check. Your passport, your driving license, or a photo of your living face handed over to a private firm to have a good look at. And for a company, breaking the rules carries a fine of up to £18 million, or a tenth of everything it earns across the whole world, whichever hurts more. So the companies did as they were told, and they did it fast. Most of us had no clue it was even coming until the box turned up in our faces. Papers, please! In this country, to read about cider, and you are allowed to find that both funny and infuriating at the very same time, because that is exactly what it is. A whole grown country treating grown adults like they've been caught around the back of the bike sheds having a fag. Now, why would anyone build a thing like this? Well, for a good reason, I guess, on paper. The whole point is to keep kids away from the worst of the internet. Oh, won't somebody think of the kids? Adult content, first and foremost, and the genuinely dark corners of it, the pages that prey on kids who are already struggling to hang on. And I want to be dead straight with you here, because this bit matters more than anything else I'll say. Nobody sane is against that. Not one decent person watching this wants a 12-year-old stumbling into that stuff. If this law did what it says on the tin, most of us would have a little grumble, upload the passport and put up with it. Or get a VPN. So the question was never whether protecting children is a good thing. Obviously it is. The question is whether this actually does it and who's getting hurt while it pretends to. This is where it starts to wobble, because somebody somewhere had to sit down and decide what counts as harmful and the net got thrown so wide that it dragged in things nobody could keep a straight face about. That earwax forum behind the checkpoint. A community for people who are mad about flags. No, like actual flags, like the one you wave and stuff, like proper geography teacher stuff, right? Checkpoint. Pimple popping videos. Checkpoint. Poker. A forum for people who like cider. At one point, even a page about Rick rolling. You know, the ancient internet gag where somebody tricks you into a Rick Astley video. All of it, overnight. 9 papers, please. And you would laugh. You honestly would if it stopped there. But oh, it did not. Because the exact same clumsy net that scooped up earwax and flags also came down over places that actually matter. The forums where people go for help. The room where people trying to give up drinking hold each other up one day at a time. The quiet corner where somebody fighting the urge to hurt themselves goes looking for a reason not to. The space where survivors of assault talk to other survivors who understand. All of it walled off. Show us your passport first. Which is a strange one when you think about it, isn't it? Given you can legally consent to sex in this country at 16, but a 16-year-old survivor couldn't get into a forum to get help and to talk about it. And think for a second about who a wall like this actually shuts out. Not the villain the law was so frightened of. It shuts out the person at the lowest point of their whole week. 2 a.m, the house dead quiet. Someone sitting in the dark, reaching for the one place full of strangers who have been exactly where they have been and somehow clawed their way back. And instead of hands reaching back to help, a little grey box pops up. Before you come in, prove who you are, upload your ID. For a lot of people, that is the precise moment when they put the phone down and go back to hopefully just being alone with it. A law we were sold as a shield for the vulnerable managed on its first day to lock the vulnerable out in the cold. So at the very least, you'd think, at the absolute minimum, the children must be safer for all of this. That's the deal, isn't it? A load of hassle for us, but a bit of safety for them? No. And this is the part where I'd ask you to put your cup down. Now, in fairness, the checks did do something. Traffic to the mainstream adult sites dropped off a cliff the week the law landed. One of the largest reckoned it lost nearly half of its UK visitors overnight. And if the story ended there, you would call it a win. But here is the problem, because it doesn't. Because the front door, having a lock on it, never stops the kids or anyone else. It just sends them round the back. They got past the whole thing before their tea went cold. They downloaded a VPN, a cheap little app that makes your phone look like it's sitting in another country, and wandered straight past every checkpoint like it wasn't there. When the law came in, one VPN company reported daily signups jumping by more than 1,800% and said the only other time they see numbers more like that is during actual civil unrest. Other kids just borrowed a parent's ID off the side or their mum's handbag. And some of them, not inventing this one, beats the clever face scanning machines by holding up a photograph of characters from video games. But don't take it from me. Take it from the government's own children's commissioner. The person whose entire job, top to bottom, is watching out for kids in this country. Her most recent big survey found the share of young people who'd seen explicit material before turning 18 had climbed, not dropped, up to 17% from 64 just 2 years earlier. And here's the part that should stop you cold. Most of them, nearly 6 in 10, weren't even looking for it. It found them, served up by algorithms on the everyday apps to kids who never went searching. Now, that survey was taken in the run-up to the checks going live, so it's the state of play the law was walking into, the mountain it promised to move, and everything since. The kids sailing past the walls in seconds, the harm still baked into the ordinary scroll, tells you the mountain has barely shifted. A whole nation handed over its privacy, and the one thing the law was built to do, it is, on the evidence so far, no closer to doing. You could not design a bigger gap between the promise and the result if you sat down and tried. So if it didn't protect the kids, what did it actually build? A great mountain of your most personal information is now sitting somewhere it never used to sit. and you want to think hard about what you handed over in that little box. Not a password that you can change in a huff if it leaks. Your passport, your actual face, your identity. And the cold hard truth about that is a simple one. These databases leak. They always leak. In the end, at least. Every last one of them eventually. That is the one iron law of the internet. And on the day yours does, you can reset a password in about 30 seconds, but you cannot reset your face. And it isn't only the leak worth worrying about. Once your face and your papers are sat in some company's files, the real question becomes who else gets to reach it and take a look. The law even leaves a door propped open for the authorities to come along and ask for it. So the very thing you handed over just to see a cider forum could one day end up somewhere you never even dreamed of. And one small detail tells you everything you need to know about the people running all of this. To keep tabs on how many of us were dodging the checks, the online watchdog went and paid a private data company to gather figures on what software people in this country were quietly installing on their phones. Yeah, you want to take a closer look at that one. The very people running the law that's meant to be about protecting your data is spending public money on collecting your data to find out whether you were trying to keep your data away from them. And somebody, naturally, is getting paid for all of this because a law that forces an entire country to prove its identity again and again and again, day after day after day after day, doesn't just happen out of the goodness of anyone's heart. It builds a business, a brand new industry of firms most of you have never heard of, with names like Yoti and Persona, whose whole trade is now hoovering up all of the face and passports of a nation, one nervous upload at a time. That's what the law reliably built. A fresh new marketplace, and the goods on the shelf are you. And these are not exactly firms with a long or spotless record of keeping things under lock and key. The whole trade is barely out of nappies, and it's already been handed the keys to the identity of an entire nation, and lost them a couple of times already. And if you reckon this is where it will all stop, I'm sorry to tell you, but you don't know how these things tend to go. They only ever grow. This isn't idle talk either. In January, the House of Lords actually voted 207 to 159 for a plan to stop children using VPNs at all, and voted separately to ban the under-16s from social media altogether. Both are now working their way through Parliament. I think the VPN one got dropped though. I'll need to check that and come back to you. And the government's own technology secretary floated the idea that a company pointing children towards harmful content through a VPN is committing the same offence as serving that content directly, and that is the first step on the road to treating the tools themselves as the problem, rather than the content. And tucked away in the small print of the law itself is a quiet little power that lets the government and ministers add brand new things to the harmful list whenever the mood takes them, without a great deal of fuss. Today it's earwax and cider. It might be worth a think about what some future governments might decide you're not quite grown up enough to be trusted with. Oh, and the famous one, the one in the headlines, that's the daft cherry on the whole sorry cake. Because one arm of the British state spent years forcing platforms like Reddit to build these walls and check everyone's age, and then another arm of that same state, the data regulator, the ICO, turned around and fined Reddit £14.5 million because the age checks it was leaning on, letting people simply tick a box to say they were an adult, were too weak to protect the children's data properly. Reddit is appealing, and its argument boiled right down is a good one. So hang on a minute. You're pushing us to hoover up more of everyone's private data when hoovering up everyone's private data is the actual problem here? So the companies and the regulators are now having a good old squabble about exactly how much of your identity ought to be scooped up and stored. And in that entire argument, from the first word to the last, the one person nobody thinks to ask is you. Now, I know how this channel works, and I can feel some of you itching to turn this into the you lot versus their lot thing, so let me lift that clean off the table right now. This law was written by one party, it was switched on and defended to the hilt by the other one. And this is the honest bit, the bit I won't fudge you for. Plenty of this country actually backs this law, especially the parents. Most people asked straight say they support it. So this was never a simple tale of a villain and a nation up in arms, but more than 500,000 people from the right, from the left, from every other scrap of ground in between, still signed their name to a petition begging to reform or scrap it. It's got its debate in Parliament, and it got voted down. The support is real, and so is the unease. And the one thing the whole argument keeps skating past is the simplest question of all. Is the thing actually working? Because on the evidence so far, a whole lot of privacy has been handed over, and the children it was for are still getting through. So this was never really red against blue. It's the people who make you scan your face and the rest of us who have to do it. Same as it ever was. So what do you actually do about it tonight from your same sofa? Well, you can't repeal a law with your thumb, and I won't insult you by pretending otherwise. But you aren't powerless here either. When a box demands your identity, slow right down and look at what it's truly asking. Some of these checks only glance at your age from a quick face scan and then allegedly delete the picture the second they're done. Others quietly keep a copy of your passport for who knows how long and who knows what. Where you're given the choice, always pick the one that keeps nothing. Treat any free age check that pops up that appears out of nowhere like the bait it very often is, because handing over your passport to a random website is exactly how it ends up for sale. And the actual fight to fix this law, not just moan about it down at the pub, is live and it's real. Groups like the Open Rights Group are leaning on Parliament as we speak, and an email to your MP asking them to reform the thing lands a good deal harder than you would ever think. And one last thing, because we've touched some heavy stuff tonight. If any of what I mentioned earlier sits a bit too close to home for you right now, the Samaritans are there day or night on 116, 132, and they will never once ask for your passport. But if you carry one single picture away from all of this, let it be this one. Somewhere in Britain tonight, there's a 15-year-old who went looking for something that they probably shouldn't be looking for, and they saw it easily enough in seconds because they tapped a free app and slipped around the side of the wall like it was made of paper. And a few streets over, there's a grown man who only wants to read the words of a handful of strangers who'd managed to stop drinking so that he might get through one more night without reaching for the bottle himself, and he sat there staring at a grey box that will not let him in until he photographs his passport. The child the law was built to protect strolled straight past it. The adult it was never meant to touch got stopped dead at the door. That is the single image, and that is the whole of it. Because the devil, like always, was very much in the details, and the details were sitting exactly where they always sit, in the fine print of a law that an entire country was promised would keep its children safe, and which, so far, has mostly just taught those children how to be good at getting past it. Oh, by the way, if you skipped the middle bit, SteadyQ, my teleprompter, the one that follows your voice, you can try it for free at steadyq.com or with the link in the description. Anyway, thanks guys, see you next time.